Monday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Normally, what we discuss on this channel is from a political correct view, a woke point of view, only because of so much nonsense and garbage that is constantly being spewed from a political correct or woke standpoint. But when you come across a story like this, an ongoing story in the last 24 to 48 hours, you tend to get caught up in all the muck and the mire and the trash. But this is a story that's very important. And after the time spent, blood, sweat, tears, fortune, lives lost, kind of puts everything in perspective. Let's take a look. This comes out of the blaze. And of course, the situation with Afghanistan has been ongoing for the better part of 20 years since 9/11. And we are coming up on that anniversary this September. 20 years. Wow. But when you see what a ragtag group, a true insurrection that is happening in this country, not the ones that are falsely made by our dear and esteemed politicians in D.C., like I said just moments ago, it puts everything in perspective. Videos emerge from Kabul. Taliban fighters celebrate inside Afghanistan's presidential palace. Complete chaos at the airport. Videos are emerging from Kabul showing Taliban leadership celebrating inside the country's presidential palace, juxtaposed against footage of chaos at the capital city's airport, where throngs of panicked crowds desperate try to flee Afghanistan. Heavily armed Taliban commanders effortlessly entered Kabul's presidential palace after it was abandoned by Ashraf Ghani, the former president of Afghanistan, who fled to Tajikistan. Do this one first. This is inside the presidential palace, the abandoned presidential palace. As you can see there is no one. There's no one. There's the Taliban there.
يدخلون إلى داخل أروقة القصر الرئاسي في كابول.
I think I should have shown you this one first, but you pretty much got the gist of what's going on as the Taliban enter the presidential palace. And, armed with AK-47s. It's funny how, we're talking about, it looks like to be a guard. You got one guy dressed in a suit on the phone. So what's up with that? The story. Footage of the moment of the Taliban leadership waltzed into the presidential palace surfaced on Sunday. The Taliban fighters were seen taking cell phone selfie photos with rifles around their shoulders. From the presidential palace, the ruling Taliban leadership is soon expected to restore the country as Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, which was the former name of the country before the Taliban was dethroned after 9/11, led by U.S.-led forces. Wow, what a surprise. We had to step in once again. Sahal Shahid, a Taliban spokesman and negotiator, told the Associated Press that the Islamic fundamentalist group would hold talks in the coming days with an effort to form an open and inclusive Islamic government. Two words that don't go together. Islam and inclusive. Anyone who knows the history of Islam in the United States, Islam in the Middle East, they don't like to play well with others. These were the reports. There were reports, of gunshots being fired as people entered the airport. The U.S. State Department confirmed reports of gunfire at the airport. Videos show the pandemonium inside the jam-packed Kabul airport formerly known as Hamid Karzai International Airport. There's complete chaos on the tarmac as hordes of people in despair search for a way to escape the country. May God help them all at the Kabul airport. CNN correspondent Jennifer Hanslin reported that the Biden administration has, quote, curtailed the number of flights to the U.S. for Afghans who worked alongside the U.S. as it prioritizes the evacuation of American personnel from the country. Hansler's sources said the last flight for the time being of Afghanistan special immigrant visa applicants and their families bound for Fort Lee, Virginia, has left for Afghanistan. This comes out of Breitbart. Joe Dementia remains hidden at Camp David after Afghanistan collapses. May address the nation in the next few days. That picture speaks volumes. President Joe Dementia will remain hidden at the presidential retreat at Camp David through Monday, according to White House, as the Taliban swiftly seizes control of Afghanistan. The president's daily guidance for Monday indicated Biden would remain at Camp David for at least one more day, with no public events scheduled. But a senior administration official indicated to reporters Sunday evening that Biden might address the country in the next few days. It remains unclear whether Biden will speak from Camp David or return to the White House. Biden has not spoken publicly on Afghanistan since Tuesday, after expressing optimism that the leaders of Afghanistan country would rally to defend their country. I think that they're beginning to realize that they've come together politically at the top, he said, referring to the leaders of Afghanistan. Biden told reporters Tuesday he did not regret his decisions on Afghanistan, leaving the following day for the rest of his August vacation in Delaware before he shifted his vacation to Camp David. From Camp David, Biden has monitored the crisis as the White House released photographs of the president speaking to aides remotely on social media, and of course, he has no idea what he's doing. On Saturday, the White House released a 600-word statement from Biden defending his decision to leave Afghanistan and blaming former President Donald Trump for empowering the Taliban. Think of that statement. But Biden has remained off camera as images and footages of Taliban entering Kabul flooded over various forms of media. My thoughts. The fact of the matter is that once again we show the inept, the incompetence, the nonsensical, the foolish, the buffoonish, the idiotic, the moronic, the maroon-like Joe Dementia has no idea of what he's doing. Again, it's not a surprise. No one should be surprised by this clown's action at this point. The fact of the matter is that you pulled U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. Now, a lot of people, you can argue back and forth. The debate has been going on for 20 years whether we should have been there from the first place after 9/11. Once we went in there, then again, Iraq comes into the picture. You went to Afghanistan to get their leader, who basically put the whole situation of 9/11 together, to take him out and his leaders. But no, you went off to Iraq to deal with a situation, so-called WMDs, which never truly manifested. And now we have this. So while Trump kept a small package of U.S. troops, I think it was on a rotation in Afghanistan to have some sort of presence there, just like what we did in Iraq. No, Joe Dementia, in his microscopic wisdom, pulled our troops out. And so the Taliban said, hey, the boys have left town. Now it's time for us to step in and take what's ours, in their opinion, as you saw by the videos. So, once again, the U.S. looks like an ass. We look like a total ass with a total ass as president. But then again, what do you expect? And like I said, this is showing no slowdown right now. So it's going to be very interesting what Joe Dementia comes out and tries to make clear to the American people that what he did was the right thing. But out of one side of his mouth and then out of the other side of his mouth, it's Trump's fault, Trump's fault, Trump's fault. The man hasn't been in office in 8 months, but yet it's still his fault. Go figure. What do you expect from a dementia-riddled old man who's got his finger on the nuke? Wow. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Barganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.